Finally, okay, there we go. Hey everybody, I hope you guys have not been waiting too long for me. I've had some super, first I'm having weather difficulties going on over here because it's been sunny all afternoon. And then of course, as soon as I decided to get to the park for yoga, the cold winds from you northerners all blew in and I had to pick up and move locations because I'm not built for the cold or dressed for the cold today, so I was not prepared. Um, Thank you for joining me. Thanks for everybody who's like here and stuff, uh, and who's been waiting patiently and peacefully. Greetings, Uncle Jess and Neb. So I'm really glad to see you here. Okay, so I was trying to decide, I was kind of trying to get a flow of what I should do this week. You know, sometimes I'm the type who likes to go with the flow with everything. So I wait until Spirit guides me as to kind of like what sort of topic that I can work with. And so what I've been guided to today, and this is something that I'm working on a lot in my personal life and something that I have been talking with a few friends about sharing lately, is about doing a whole entire prosperity set. And the prosperity set is something that I'll be teaching in my live class. But a lot of people don't realize that yoga is actually a whole this type of yoga, Wajjet yoga, which is the same thing, the serpent power, the movement of energy through the body, is the same energy manipulation that you would use to do magic, to do spirit work and things like that. This is the same kind of work that we do with yoga. We're actually using our own body as the tool. So basically, instead of using candles, using incense, using a wand or anything like that, you become the tool that it is that you're using. So we can actually create the same effects by using yoga that we would if we were using other kind of tools and things like that. What we're doing today, this is called ancestral debt. This is what I have decided to name this one. So some of you may be familiar with burning ancestor money, and that's one way that we can clear the ancestral debts we have that help hold us down, keep us stuck financially. A lot of us have a lot of very negative karma stuck on us, especially anybody who's tuning in, because I know there are a few people from different places. I know there are a couple of people in the Caribbean who had planned to tune in today, and even as far away as South Africa. So for just speaking specifically just on the energy of people who are here in the United States, but of course this applies to everybody, it can apply to anyone. There's a lot of very dark and negative karma here attached to people from being on either side of kind of slavery energy, or being on either side of industrial revolution energy, or being on all of the way that this country has become wealthy has been a lot on the backs of it's been on the backs of other people. So it has created a lot of negative karma. So those of us who incarnate here in this space on this continent a lot of times are inheriting the negative ancestral financial karma of our ancestors. And it doesn't matter which complexion you are, because we have DNA overlapping. At this point, we have DNA overlapping from so many sources that we can be drawing down negative ancestral karma into us from just about any realm, from any ancestor, regardless of the spirit energy where we came from our natural tribe. We still have karmic influences coming from other DNA strands in us as well. So it's important to work with those to help heal that and get rid of those. And burning ancestor money is one popular and very well-known way to get rid of karmic debt, get rid of karmic ancestral, so that we can help us be prosperous, because the universe is constantly moving in flow. Everything in the universe is about flow, energy flowing, positive force, numbers increasing, and there's nothing about destruction and decreasing. That isn't in the realm of the three-dimensional reality that we live in the aspect of the universe of creation that we emanate from. We are in the part that is expansive and flowing and opening. So all we have to do is tap into that river, and we become part of the expansion and part of the opening and part of the abundance and part of the flow too. But it's just a matter of what are we applying to that abundance and to that process and to that flow. So when there's such thing as debt is like a negative reaction. All of those kind of things are we have karmic debt, financial debt, just different kinds of energy debt, where the energy is contractive and we're moving, and we need to reverse that. So basically what we're going to do today, we're going to go into the same cycle that we did last week. If anybody tuned in last week and watched the cycle that we did for moving the serpent power up to the body, because what Wadjet does, we work first with the generator. So we work with an electromagnetic energy. This is how we manipulate energy to create the life situations that we want. And the reason that I know this is that this works is because I've been doing magic. So I started doing magic when I was 11. I started meditating when I was 11 also. And I used to do magic, and I had books and books and books of spells and things like that. And they're very effective. That is an extremely effective way of moving energy and getting things that you want accomplished by tapping into not just the physical world, but into the metaphysical world as well. And I was doing magic well into my late 20s. And as I started doing more and more yoga, I noticed that the need for using magic and using external manipulation in order to adjust my life and set it back on course was less and less, because the more yoga was putting me on course, the less and less I needed to take like eventually. And I don't mean this in a negative way towards anybody who uses magic, because like I said, I totally understand it. But when there's a certain alignment, and it's like, if you have a car, let's say you have an older car, and your car is going to need more oil changes. You might have like that little rattle knocking noise, so you're going to need to take something and you're going to fill that the tank with the oil, or the engine with something that keeps the rattling from going. You're going to need to change the tires more often. There are different things going on with a vehicle, so you're constantly having to apply little fixes to the vehicle all the time. When you have an older car, you might want to have AAA on hand all the time, so that, because at any moment, something might break down, something might stop, it might overheat. And that is what most of our regular lives look like. So our regular lives look like an older vehicle, and we're kind of chugging along and trying to get through it the best we can. And we make little mistakes, we're out of alignment, and so we need little fixes as we go along the way. And we can tap into any kind of energy for fixes. We can tap into financial energy here on this plane. We can work harder, get more money, buy the new tire or oil thing, or filter, or whatever it is. And we can tap into universal energy and do the same thing. But as doing yoga, what yoga does is create this source of renewal inside the body and inside the being. So it's like you're taking this old car and you're renewing it back into a new vehicle. You're renewing it into a brand new car again. So when the car is new, you don't need to be constantly applying fixes to the car. All you have to concentrate on is just, what do you need to do to go fast to get where you're going? So the power of using yoga, of using this electromagnetic energy, is that instead of having to apply magical fixes on the outside to an older model vehicle, you're actually able to pull yourself into a place of alignment so that you are the new car again, so that you are able to shift yourself into a place where, like I said, you could just put it in gear, and then you just know that you can go fast. You know that the tires are not going to give out on you if you take a bend too fast. You know that the wheel is not going to tighten up on you because it's working properly. All the things on the car are working properly, so you have that you can use. Now, a lot of times with life, because of our karmic situations, and sorry, I apologize if I'm jumping around too quickly. I know we started a little late, and I want to make sure to get all the time in, and everything. And plus, I'm just, I talk fast and I ramble a lot. So again, I apologize if I'm doing that. But one of the important things that we need to do is just to constantly start creating a life where we are in alignment, where we are in flow. And so yoga helps to pull us into alignment, but then also in the process of being pulled into that alignment, there are yogic fixes that are the same as doing these different fixes that are for magic. It taps into that same energy and aligns you so that you have the Band-Aid, so that you have the oil in the tank and the little thing and the antifreeze and the extra stuff and the little water so that the car doesn't overheat. It applies those fixes. So going back to what the topic of our issue is today, of the topic of our today's session, we're going to work on some ancestral. So we're using our electromagnetic energy of our body. So the electric energy is what we create first. We generate electricity by doing the yoga movements. So the yoga set that we do in Wadjet Yoga is what pulls us, and it creates energy like a generator. So it's just like if there's the way a dam collects water and it takes the spinning water, the movement of the water, or the way a wind turbine takes the spinning of the wind and it takes it, and that movement generates electricity, and then it takes that electricity and it funnels it somewhere and creates some kind of power. So when we do Wajet Yoga, we are doing a movement. We're doing certain movements that help generate electricity in our body. And once the electrical field has been completely generated and we are now a physical electric generator, we take that generator and we apply it into a meditation. And the meditation is the power, the place of power where we're putting the electrical energy. So we're using the electric and then we're applying it to the magnetic. And with the electric and magnetic energy put together, that's how we create the changes and bring ourselves into the state of alignment that we're looking for. So, and this yoga can be used for absolutely anything. If you guys, as you guys know, as you watch me and follow along and join my classes, I have a website, Wajet Yoga, www, if anybody even still says that, wajetyoga.com. If you go there, there's a place to email subscribe where you can get information about signing up for my regular classes, because I do blocks of classes like these. They're 6-week blocks. And in the 6-week block of classes, that's where we do. So we'll do like a whole entire prosperity set. And I'm telling you, this stuff works. I have come out from incredibly low odds to rise up to a place where some serious power was created. And one of my issues for me is consistency, because a lot of times I'm either trying to help someone else or I'm trying to apply myself to too many different issues at once. And I'll spread my energy really thin instead of staying focused and consistent with one specific area and tackling that until it's complete. So a lot of times, even my own power that I know exists, this power this whole system of yoga that I actually created, sometimes I don't even tap into it enough to get done what I need to do. But the moments when I tap into it and I stay with it consistent, focused, it's so incredibly powerful. Like, it just literally works magic. It literally does. So, okay, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to stop rambling. I just wanted you guys to understand what we're doing. And again, sorry, this is not the park. This is my living room. I don't even know you guys like that, but here you are up in my house. but that's okay. I'm glad you're here. It's a little chilly outside today, so I did move in. For anybody who's joining us late, I did move in from the park outside and decided to come on inside so that I didn't get rained on, or so that I didn't get freezed out from being out there. So we're going to go ahead and start in here. So please excuse just in case the cat walks by or anything like that. Or if anybody comes in and out. I have no idea who will be passing through as before we're done burning our ancestral money today, so that we can raise more prosperity in our lives. But let's go ahead and begin. So the first thing we're just going to do a little stretch right here, and we're going to do a fire breath, because we always start everything in Wajet Yoga with a fire breath. Everything in life always starts with the breath. The breath is the one thing in this physical plane that is the shortest. That's the thing that you need the most. You have the shortest time to live without breath than you do with everything else. You can live with everything else longer than that, but the breath has to be balanced and mastered first, and then you move on to the next place. So this time we're going to sit up and do it. So just if you come up here, just so you can see my legs, we're just going to come up here like that. All right. Okay. And I noticed this last time and I still haven't taken care of it. So sorry for all my ladies who know about self-care in the beauty area. I am not a self-care lady in the beauty area. I still have my Halloween nail polish on. So please excuse me, because I didn't even think about that till last time, but that looks, it looks whatever. But anyway, just in case anybody has noticed it besides me noticing it just now, that's what that is, and I don't even mind. But anyway, okay, so we're going to sit up here, and for anybody who hasn't done this before, the fire breath is a breath where we draw the navel, we pull the belly button in, so you force the breath out, and you pull the belly button back like you're trying to touch your spine with it. And then you just kind of let go, and then you just let the air fill up the bottom of your lungs. It's really, really important, the fire breath, because it oxygenates the whole body. So it brings loads of oxygen into the blood really quickly, but also, just as importantly, it pushes carbon dioxide out. It displaces the carbon dioxide that's in the body, and the carbon dioxide expels through the lungs, and the oxygen goes down into the lungs. Carbon dioxide is what's responsible for having a bad pH balance in the blood, for having acidic blood. So just by doing this fire breath, again, without having to use any green juice, alkaline water, anything outside of yourself, again, you can create the conditions that you want inside your body and inside your life just by doing yoga. You are the only tool that you need. So we're going to do this breath here. So we want to breathe down into the bottom of the lungs. And I've mentioned this in the last class, but I just will mention this again. There are receptors in the lungs up here at the top that remind us, and when we breathe down and the air only reaches those receptors, this is a fight or flight receptor area. So this tells us that we're in danger, that we need to hurry, that we need to go quickly. And there are receptors down in the bottom of the lungs that tell us we're in a place of peace, we're in space, we have time, that we're comfortable, and that everything is okay. So most people, because of the society, the culture that we live in, we have forgotten how to breathe so that we relax, so that we just relax and feel comfortable inside our skin, inside our world, inside our space. We need to breathe all the way down into our lungs. Claim your whole entire lungs. All of this is yours. Use it. You are given all of this space here. Don't use only what's up here. Use the entire thing. So the breath of fire helps you to reset your breathing and to rewire your body so that your nervous system is aware that you are in a safe place, you're in safe space, and that you have time and you have the ability to make peace inside yourself. So again, so we're going to start here. Hey, peace, everybody. Thank you for joining. Okay, so we're going to go here again. So the navel, inhale, exhale sharply. And as you do this, you should be able to hear yourself. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and begin. And take a deep breath. Hold. And exhale. And then come on down to a sitting position here. Okay. That's that. Thank you. Good to see you, everybody. Thank you. Okay. All right. So you may feel a kind of sense of clarity kind of all in your body. You may feel a little dizzy or some tingling. This is when how the nerves reset and the body is oxygenating itself. So you may be able to feel that directly just from that breath. And if you do that breath for 3 minutes every day, just doing that breath alone helps to regenerate the brain. And I know because I have regenerated my own brain tissue doing this particular practice, not just, but in addition to other things, but this particular practice. It helps reset the electrical center, the electrical magnetism of your heartbeat. So it helps the electricity between your heart, the messages between your heart and brain to reset, and a whole lot of other things. It also changes the gut flora, the balance in there. It does a lot of things. I'll do a whole entire class just on breathing another time. But yeah, we're going to jump right into this ancestral debt now. So we're going to again begin here, and we're going to start. So the first thing we do, we want to take our hands, and then we're going to put them on the legs here, and we're going to pull forward. So we're arching our body forward. So let me just show you here from the side here. So here we're arching the body forward here, and then we're pulling back. So arching forward and pulling back. Okay, so just so you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to go forward and back. So we don't want to pull the head up, and we don't want the whole spine to go. We want the top of the body to try to stay as still as possible. And we're just arching the bottom of the body forward and back. So we're rolling the hips forward and rolling back. And as you come forward, inhale, nice deep breath, fill up the whole lungs. And as you roll back, exhale from the bottom of the lungs and up. And make this a nice quick movement. And sorry, guys, I am kind of super blind. No, I'm not that bad, but that's funny about your cat. My cat just runs and hides when she knows what's going on here. So yes, sorry, I have to squeeze my eyes down and squint at the screen in the middle of these breaths, these movements, in order to see what you're writing. But keep writing, keep writing. Thank you. I love hearing from you guys. That's it. Keep going. Nice strong breaths. And this particular position and posture also helps to squeeze the kidneys. So it gives the kidneys a good massage. And the kidneys are excellent for getting your body reset, helping your sexual energy and sexual balance. So make sure you do that. Okay, deep breath, come to center. Nice straight spine. And exhale. And then right away, we're going to come up onto the lungs. Oh, did I just say come up on the lungs? Whoa, okay. I'm already feeling the effects here. We're going to come up onto the legs. Sit so your legs are underneath you, just like this. If it's not comfortable to be in this position, you can always get a pillow and tuck it under your feet, or you could just raise your feet up to the side like this. I hope you guys can see me, but you're just going to raise the feet up like this. If that's more comfortable to sit this way. If it is possible for you to sit like this, then that's the best position for this, so that it can get the most twist out of your spine. But of course, the most important thing is to do what feels comfortable so that you can keep up the movements for the whole time. So you're going to do this, and we're going to do that same posture again. And this is going to open up and bring the Wadjet energy, the Kundalini energy, into a different part of our spine. And we're raising the energy up our entire spine. And once it comes out the crown and comes down here, like the uraeus that the African kings used to have, once we feel it come out here, that's how we know that the Kundalini, that the Wadjet energy has risen and come out and actuated to where it's supposed to be. And that's when we begin our meditation. So again, nice strong breaths. Inhale, exhale. I was in a car accident a few weeks ago, about a month ago now, and I can feel the place in my spine whenever I do this particular Wadjet set. I can feel the spot in my spine where it's releasing the energy, because a lot of times when you have an accident or some kind of trauma to the body, your body will freeze around the space of that trauma and hold it there. And unless you move yourself constantly, unless you do regular cycles of movement, that trauma will stay locked there. And the trauma will continue to send messages, to send vibrational, hormonal, and neural messages to the rest of your body that the trauma is still taking place until you do something to release it. So keeping your body moving is a really, really important practice, because just if you think of all the times in just in your childhood alone, that you fell down on the floor while you're learning to walk and all those sorts of things, all of the traumas that are locked in our bodies, if we don't actively work to release them and detoxify our bodies from all of these little traumas, these little locks in us, that's how we end up getting our blessings blocked, because all of these locked traumas that have been locked away are just spaces. They're rigid, dark spaces, and light can't shine into these rigid, dark spaces. So we have to open it up, move it, and release it. Set it free, set it free. Okay, deep breath. Hold. Okay, good, good. All right, and then next one, immediately we're going to bring the arms up over here, I hope this is far enough back that you could see all of me. But yes, we're going to bring the arms up so that the arms are parallel to the ground. And we're going to put the thumbs behind the shoulders here. And then the forefingers go to the front. And we're going to twist. We're going to do a spinal twist. What we're going to do is keep the head straight. For me, it's better for me, especially if you have long hair. You're going to want to keep your head to the front. If your hair is short or very short so that it's not going to knock into your face, you can twist your whole entire neck and spine at the same time. But unless your hair is short enough for that, then I highly recommend that you just keep your forehead, like you keep your face straight forward and twist the body. So we're going to do this. We're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right. And we want nice, deep, sharp breaths and a nice, powerful movement. If you do this, where you kind of just this, and the head is moving every which way, you're literally not generating any energy at all. So the meditation is not going to produce the power that you're looking for. This is where we produce the electric power that drives our meditation and makes whatever our intentions are actually manifest. Okay, come back to center, deep breath in and hold. And exhale, bring the arms down to the side. And just rest your palms on the floor for just a minute. You may feel a lot of energy moving through you now. The Wadjet energy is extremely powerful, and it has to be raised up your spine very carefully, or else you could end up either injuring yourself or sometimes even getting emotional imbalances. So you want to always make sure that you use some sort of yogic practice or something whenever you're interested in raising Wadjet energy, or what some people call Kundalini energy, when you want to raise that. And it's not a toy, it's not a game, and it is extremely strong. It definitely is something that should be mastered and used carefully. So, and you may feel a lot of energy raising up through you. Parts of your body may be tingling, or you may feel lightheaded, or just kind of a sense of openness here. So just take good care with how your body is feeling right now as you're going through this, okay? All right, so we're going to come back to a sitting position here. Oh, I'm feeling floaty already. I hope I can remember what to say to you guys. Okay, all right, so this time, last week I believe we did this while we were up on our knees. So both of these postures are equally acceptable. That sitting up on the legs or sitting this way, they just bring different foundations of strength to you. So either way it can be used. So, but okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to clasp the hands together. Oops, what does that say? Ah, yes. Okay, so we're going to put the left hand, I'm not sure if I'm mirrored or if I'm facing the same direction as you, but the left hand is going to face forward and right hand faces you. Hands clasped together, and then you want to pull the hands like you're trying to pull them apart. You want to pull them like that, and then we're going to do this. So we're going to inhale when the left arm is down and exhale as the right arm is down. And nice fast breaths. And again, for this one, you want to keep your eyes closed if possible, and the hand should be right in front of the heart. The camera is the angle is a little bit downward, so it may not look like exactly like my hands are in front of my heart from where you're at, but just make sure that your hands are in front of your heart, because that's the part of the spine that we're activating right now. And come to center, pull, and exhale and release. Okay. Okay, then we're going to immediately drop the head down onto the chin down to the chest. And just take a few deep breaths. And then just begin to roll. Roll the neck around to the right first. And then around to the front. And around. And then back around the other way. And then come back to center. Okay, and then we're going to quickly pinch. So we're going to pinch the shoulders up. We're going to pinch the energy that we've just raised in that particular point there, and I'll explain about that point a little bit later. We're going to pinch the energy up, and then exhale, drop it down. Inhale sharply, pinch it up, and then drop it down. And for this one, it's important that your eyes are closed because we're drawing energy up into the top part of the body and the head now. So we don't want any energy to leak out of us. Energy leaks out through the eyes very, very strongly. We bring energy in through the eyes, and we also leak energy out through the eyes. So when we're containing our energy and raising our electricity, we don't want to allow any of it to slip away, none of it to get wasted. Raise it up and squeeze. And exhale. And then we're going to turn to the right, back to the left. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. And this one doesn't have to be as quick and sharp, just as quick as you feel able to, because you may be feeling dizzy, or you may be feeling a lot of tingling or a kind of buzzing sensation in your head. So you want to just kind of honor the energy that you're moving around and go with how your body feels. You don't want this to end up making you pass out or get so floaty that you can't go back to work or make dinner for the kids tonight or whatever it is that you've got going on. This is a very, very, very powerful raising energy here. All right, back to the center. Hey, peace. Okay, take a deep breath and just rest at the center for just a moment. And then I'm just going to bring the thumbs up here. And we're going to place the thumbs, here we go, let me lean a little closer so you can see. We're going to place the thumbs right in here, in that place right under the eyebrows and kind of at the indent of where your eyebrows begin. And exhale. And we're going to do the fire breath one more time. Deep breath in and hold. And exhale, arms down to the side again. All right, and we're going to close out this energy movement by just sealing. We're going to do what's called the lock. So we're going to do a root lock, an abdomen lock, and a throat lock. And these are going to seal in the electrical energy that we've just raised inside us so that we can tap into that electrical force again before it's all dissipated out into our auric field, into the atmosphere and whatnot. So the arms are going to come up over the head here like this. I hope you can see me. Let me move this back just a little bit more. Arms up over the head like this. You're going to close your hands together, and then you're just going to raise the first two fingers. So our hands look like this. Just raise those first two fingers up here. And we're just going to roll the shoulders back and just relax it so that your shoulders are down here, that your arms are next to your ears here like this, okay? And again, fire breath. Deep breath in, and then we're going to pull up the root. And so when I'm talking about the root, I'm talking about the perineum, and that is the space right underneath you where the root chakra is. For those of you who know where that is, that's the space in between your genitals and your anus. And you're just going to pull that space up like you're trying to pull it up the string up the inside of your body. Pull it up and hold your breath in. And exhale. And then while the breath is still held out, before you inhale again, pull that root up one more time. Pull it up nice and tight. And then you're going to pull the stomach in. You're going to pull your navel point like you're trying to pull it back towards your spine. And then you're just going to close your mouth and hold your breath. And the breath should still be out, so there should be no oxygen in your lungs at all right now. And then take a deep breath in. Inhale, bring your arms down to the sides. And then just place the hands on the floor. Take a deep breath in. And if you feel dizzy at all, then you're going to want to just lay down. In fact, the next thing that we need to do here for this posture, we're just going to lay down for a moment. And we're going to seal, before we begin the meditation, we're just going to seal all the energy in that we've moved through our whole body. And we're just going to seal the energy in by laying down still. We're going to lay down nice and still. I guess you don't have to watch me lay down. So I'm going to put this down here next to me, like this. Okay. There we are. And just relax for a moment. Now, I'm not going to participate in the relax, but I want you all to just lie still just for a moment and just listen to me, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm just going to explain some of the movements that we just did while you relax. So that it's really important that you just relax the body. So you have to allow all of the energies to align themselves. All the movements that we've just done allow the energy to move their way through the body and to realign different areas, and to basically, like I was explaining about this trauma, the places where our bodies get stuck and locked because of trauma. So what happens when we raise the serpent power inside of us? The serpent power raises up the spine. And of course, if you're aware, if anybody is, if you've ever had to go to a chiropractor, or if you've ever looked at the spine, if you've ever studied anatomy, if you ever know in any way about all the nerves that come off of the different pieces of the spine that come out through between the different spinal bones, all of the same serpent power is, and so those nerves come out and they go and they attach to different organs. So up here higher, they're obviously going to relate to organs, to the lungs, to the heart, to the muscles and everything that are up here. The nerves that come out through lower parts of our spine go to the viscera, all the gut goes to all of your digestive organs, to the liver, to the kidneys. So all of these, the same places where all of these nerve endings are going, that's the same place where the serpent power reaches. So as we open up these spaces in our spine, the serpent power reaches up and it's able to go and tap into those places. So there's a life force that we've raised, and the life force is going to those different organs and to those different parts of our body and healing us and realigning. It's breaking open spaces where you were stuck and locked and blocked with different trauma that you've experienced. So it's opening those spaces up now. So all of the energy that has been stuck and locked is now opening, and you have to give yourself the space. So you should never just jump up from yoga and just start moving. You want to raise up, those energies, and then you want to hold yourself in stillness and peace and just allow all of the energies to align in the places where they need to go. So you just give yourself that space. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and come up now, and if everybody would just come back up to a sitting position with me. Okay, we're going to raise up, and then we're going to go from here. So now we've done the electrical part. We've done the electricity, the raising of the electrical forces inside of our body. And then the next thing we're going to do is going to be the meditation that allows us, that's the magnetic. The meditation is the magnetic part. So we've charged ourselves, and now we're going to use that charge to press that. We're going to combine the charge with our intention, and that's going to create the meditation. That's going to create the power that we're looking for this meditation to become not just a meditation, something that we hope and want or feel or think inside of us, but it's going to become a manifestation. All right, so once everybody's back up in a sitting position, so this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to do it with you first, and then at the end, I'm going to talk about it and explain it because I want to go straight into the movements now. So what we're doing here is we're raising the arms up over the head, and we're going to be moving the arms in a circle, okay, in an infinity. So we're moving it in a figure 8. So the arms should be up about, let me turn to the side. So I'm just going to quickly show you first what we're doing. So the arms should be about here. So at a 45-degree angle, so you want to make sure they're not down here, low somewhere, and you want to make sure they're not straight up over your head. We're going to get to a part where they're directly above our head. But the first thing we're going to do is this. So what this is doing, as I'll just explain briefly, what this does, this helps to remove different karmic blocks that are trapped inside of our energy field. So the first part of the meditation we're doing is this. So we're taking nice, slow, deep breaths. The eyes should be closed, and we want to focus either on the heart center, directly in the middle right here in the heart chakra, or we want to focus on the third eye point. I find it the most useful. I've tried doing both ways. I find it the most useful for me in this one to focus on the third eye point. It depends on where in your body that you need energies to be released from. So this is part of our releasing this ancestral debt energy. Okay, so we want to stay with this. So keep the arms up and moving, going here. And your arms are going to start to burn a little. I can't do anything about that for you, but I can guarantee you that if you go through this process, if you allow yourself just this 2 minutes of going through this process and allowing it to burn, it's also going to be burning away this ancestral debt for you. And I will explain how after, because for some people who don't understand how energy is manipulated, how the movement of energy works, and how it affects our three-dimensional reality, it might sound really odd that doing something like this is going to erase karma or things like that. It might sound very weird. So just go with it for now. Just trust me and go with it, and I will explain everything, and I can explain more. I will be adding things to my page so that you can understand about the movement of energy and a little more about how serpent power energy works. But for now, just continue to go in that figure 8. And if the arms drop, the power is going to be reduced for this. So even though it may start to burn a little bit, I encourage you really, really, really do the best you can. It is literally just a 2-minute movement. But this 2-minute movement is going to save you so much, and really, really do a healing and a cleansing that is needed. As I said, our whole country has a huge, massive collective karmic debt where finances are concerned, and that's something that we help to raise the vibration of this whole continent as we do this work, but also, of course, more importantly for us specifically, that we help to raise this and change this in ourselves. So here again, just flowing. Almost done. And when you get anybody, you can play this video over at any time. Of course, you know this is going to be posted on my Wadjet Yoga page. You can play this over at any time. You can do this for as long as you're actually able. The longer you do it, the more power that it generates and the more it releases. But the minimum is going to be 2 minutes. Okay. All right. So we're here now, and we're going to bring the arms back down to the center in front of you here. Hold it together for just a moment. And then raise the arms over the head. And we're going to do the same figure 8, but this time we're just doing it with our hands up in the air like this. And nice slow breaths as you do it. And remember to keep a nice straight spine as you're going here. Sometimes, especially if the mind is cloudy, you can get used to just wobbling and swaying, but it's important to keep a straight spine in everything we do, because the spine, that's like our electric plug. We don't want to bend the cord or twist it or bend it up or anything. That's where we've generated our power. So that's where our serpent power is stored and raised. So we don't want to keep bending it and twisting it and allowing the power to leak out of different points in us. We want to keep a nice straight spine. Okay, we're going to bring the hands together again, back down to the center. And then immediately we're going to come out and we're going to do, this is what our hand motion is going into. So right in front of the heart center, the hands are going to clap at the bottom, clap at the top. The hands go together like this, so that these fingers are touching. Just move the thumb so that one thumb is out of the way of the other one. And we're going to do this. And as we do this, we're going to do a chant that goes with this. We're chanting Haru, 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 Haru. I'll explain what the chant means after we're done. Haru, 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 Haru. And as you chant and as your hands move, you just want to focus your mental attention on the releasing of all the debts. So any kind of financial debts that you have built up, any kind of debts that are in your family, or any place where you've made financial mistakes in your past and you want to release that. You're going to just focus your energy on those and on the releasing of all the negative karma of those things, the guilt that you sense that creates its own negative karma. Just releasing all of that energy. But just as you listen to me, keep continuing with the chant. The chant is very important in this meditation. Haru, 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 right, bring the hands back together in the center. And just take a deep breath and exhale slowly. All right. Thank you all. I want to thank you for participating today in this yoga with me. And as I did promise, I'm just going to explain now that we're finished. If you like, again, just take another minute to go ahead and just lie down. Lie back down. I'll guide you all back to the lay down part. I'm just going to lay down, just get back down to the floor. And just relax yourself. Just relax. Allow your legs to spread out. Just shoulders down at the sides. Palms facing up. And just allow your body to relax into the ground. And just again, once again, allowing the electrical and the magnetic power that we've just raised to align themselves in the parts of your being where they need to go in order for it to be the most effective for you. And that happens by just allowing that power to just align itself wherever. Don't try to force it. Don't push it. And just breathe. Thank you. Thank you for participating with me. I appreciate you being here. Okay. So I'm just going to jump up now and take this out to the porch. As I told you guys, I'm home, so I don't want to disturb the household from getting done what they've got to do. So we'll just go ahead and finish this up so you guys get to walk with me. I'm just going to take everything out to the porch. Let me go feel. I guess we did beat the rain after all. But we get to come out here. And see, here's my beautiful neighborhood once again. And the last time I got to show you guys my park. Oh, and this here. This is one of my most favorite things. I love the sound of those chimes. They're so awesome. It takes very little things to please me in life. There's so much joy, so much beauty everywhere. So I just kind of like to, just share that with you guys, share that peace But okay, so thank you again for participating in the yoga. And I just let me see. I'm just feeling a little spacey, so don't mind me. But the last things that I wanted to share about the meditation that we did was the movements that we were doing. So the movements that we did, moving the arms up when we were doing the figure eight movements over our head, this is a specific movement, an alignment in the body that removes negative karma from out of the body. So a lot of people kind of just think of energy and karma and all of these things as just these kind of like random, like thought forms, like they're just something that you think, but they're not real or they're not actual, they're not tangible. Karma is tangible. Karma is tangible in the same way that wind is not, we can't feel the wind. I mean, I'm sorry, we can feel the wind. We can't look at the wind. We can't see what it's doing, but we see its effects. So when we look at the things around us, you can look straight up all the way up to the top of the atmosphere and not see the air. But when you look at a tree, you can see the way the air is moving through the tree and how it interacts with the tree. And karma is the same way. You can't look at karma the same as you can't look at wind, but you can look at the effects of karma as it moves through different fields that it goes through. So just like it goes through the trees, karma winds itself into our DNA. Karma winds itself into our energy fields, and it makes the same way as wind can make a tree sway. Karma can change us. Karma shifts us. It changes us from what we originated as. And sometimes if it goes badly enough, if we have a lot of negative karma to clear, and karma does get clear, so it isn't something that we have to fear. It's just something that we have to go through and that we have to understand and that we have to work through. If we feel the effects of negative karma shaping us and changing the shape of us, the same as that wind blowing through a tree, there are movements and practices that realign that. So the same as if you put a pot outside with a flower in it, and the branches are reaching in one direction, and when the wind blows it keeps knocking it over, you can take that pot and you can shift it. You can shift the alignment of the pot. You can turn the plant around and it can blow with the direction of the wind so that it changes and so that the pot stops falling over. And so when we're doing postures like these, when our arms are moving like this, even though that looks like, how could moving my arms in a figure eight have anything remotely to do with karma? But what it's doing, it's realigning us. It's just turning us around in our pot, just like how shifting that potted plant around outside can either go into the wind and get knocked over, or it can go with the wind and so that the wind can blow and pass through it. So this is a posture of realignment of our energy field doing that. So what that does is burn out negative karma. And so these two postures, in what we the yogic form of burning ancestral money, so to clear ancestral debt, the yogic form of this in the meditation that we just did, it has to be connected. So you have to do that figure eight movement with the arms, and first in about 45-degree angle above your body, and then directly overhead again. And so these are two postures that go together. So they have to be done together. So you do the figure eight, you do the figure eight over your head, and those are for 2 minutes each. And then you immediately go and then you do the figure, here, let me see if I can put this down and go ahead back to like where we were. So you would do the arms up over here like this, and then the arms go up here like this, and then immediately then you come down into this posture here. And those three movements together are a releasing. So you're releasing karma, you're releasing negative energy, specifically karmic negative energy. And then this is about raising prosperity. So you want to release, and then you're releasing the negative prosperity. You're releasing negative prosperity equals debt. So we're releasing that. So that's the energy, that's the movement. So again, and if you do these, so it would be either 2 minutes in this posture, 2 minutes here, and then 3 minutes here, or you can double that or triple or any amount, but it always has to be in that ratio. So it would be 2 minutes. So if you could do the least amount of time just to get your body prepared to do it longer, 1 minute, and then 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes. Yeah, in fact, skip that. Don't even do that. That's too much math. Just do 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes, and just stick with that. That 7-minute period, and especially if you can apply that to your regular spiritual routine or your spiritual practice, or even to your yogic practice that you might already have, if you do that every day, that's guaranteed to start releasing, and that's going to release financial blocks in your life. Financial blocks that you're, as once again, for those of us who, for anybody who tuned in late, for ancestral, this, especially in the United States, all of this country was built on debt. The entire country runs on debt. And that's because it created a negative debt when it got here. It created a negative financial debt so the only means of keeping this country functioning financially is on debt, because it's only debt energy that's keeping everything running, because that's how it was created and it's never been cleaned. So we whose ancestors have been born and lived in this country at whatever, whether we're indigenous to this country, whether we were brought over here, our ancestors were brought here in slavery, whether we were brought here and brought slaves here, whoever was here and whatever they went through, whatever is their experience, or whether they came over here to tap into some of the money that was made off of the debt that was created. After all of that, all of all of those are our ancestors. So everybody has somewhere in their DNA, somewhere in their being, in their energy field, the debt that is stuck here. So if you come here and tap into it in any way, and just on a personal level, it's something that needs to be cleared. But some of us in our own individual families have even more debt. Having to endure slavery, having to endure being used for labor, and not being allowed to own anything is such a deep financial hole that that's something that even more, especially of people of African descent, that's something that really needs to heal. And so by learning how to take, taking financial classes, studying money, learning how to actually deal with money now, those kind of things are important too. And even as spiritual beings, we have to maintain balance. For me, there's so many gifts that I want to give to the world. There's so many things that I want to do. There's so much that I want to experience for myself, but I have a lot to give. I'm just the type of person who loves to create things and build things and give them away. And without a solid financial foundation, I'm not able to do that. So I'm constantly stunted by the amount of finances I have and by what in my heart actually feels like it wants to give away. So I have to make the choice. I made the choice to chip away at those blocks over and over and over on a consistent basis, so that I can start to expand my finances, so that I can expand myself into the person that I want to be, so that the person inside me who has all this that it wants to give away can actually do that. That is part of my destiny. That's part of my path. That's part of what brings me joy in life. So that's something that has to be addressed. I could just say, well, sometimes, and especially as spiritual people, will say, oh, forget finances and who cares, and money's not real anyway. And we can find any excuse that we want to basically to shut down towards money. But real energy doesn't work that way. Real energy does not work with escapism. It doesn't work by shutting down on it. All of those are ways of making blockages. So we have to face it, and we have to go through it, and we have to heal it. The only way forward is through healing, and that is in all areas of life, and that includes finances as well. So we could drop out. I was a dropout of the whole money thing for years and years. I lived off grid. I didn't deal with money. I was bartering, and I loved it. I loved living that way. But now I live in the United States again, and it is extremely difficult to live that way. Most people don't even realize that it's possible to live that way. So they're tapped in so deeply into currency that you can't even if you wanted to live that way, you don't have anyone to live that way with. So I came back here, and as part of my growth process of being back here, I have had to learn how to live and deal with finances, and realize how many karmic blocks, how much ancestral debt that I have in my own personal family, in my specific family, and then in my greater family of like everybody who's here on this continent sharing this story with me. And so I decided to heal it. And so this is just something that I wanted to share with you all today. I know our time is coming up to an end. I promised an hour, and so I hope I'm not going over for anybody. But this is something that is really just a powerful practice to continue, and you will see your life unfold in miraculous ways. And this is something that I promise you. I don't say big words and stuff like that just to sound like I know what I'm talking about or anything. I won't say anything unless I have personally experienced it. If I don't know what I'm talking about, then I just be quiet and listen. But if I really have experienced something, and I definitely know that it's doable and possible, I will definitely share it with you, and just keep reiterating that over and over again. So last time, I just want to say thank you all so much for joining me. I love you all.